start with basic video on 2-point perspective. Now, first thing we have to do is, well, I'm doing this in Photoshop, so the first thing we want to do, which you'll do as well on paper, is draw your horizon line along the top. Next thing we want to do is outline where our viewpoints are. So we've got a viewpoint 1 over here on the left hand side, and then a viewpoint 2 is over here now on the right hand side. Now, okay, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to zoom in here, and again we're going to draw some straight lines from viewpoint 1 down to here, yeah. Another one over here. Now you'll notice that both of those lines go into through the point at viewpoint 1, sorry. And we've got a vertical line down here in the middle of the screen as well, and that there's going to be the front corner of our product. The product we're going to do is a cube, so I'm going to draw another straight line here, and that is going to be the side face of our cube. We're going to join this back to viewpoint 1. Okay, everything on the side face is going to be going straight back towards viewpoint 1, and everything on the front face will be going straight back to viewpoint 2. Now, those are the only horizontal lines which are going to exist on this here. There's going to be no made up lines on a cube. All lines go back to viewpoint 1 and viewpoint 2, except for vertical lines, and I've got one here. Okay, now then, the next thing I'm going to show you, that's our basic cube in the middle of our screen. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to put in some thick and thin lines. And to do that, I've just created a new layer here on Photoshop, and I'm going to use the brush tool. I'm going to use quite a hard brush, and I'm going to make it size 19, and just make sure that it's a hard brush as well, not soft. Just zoom in here now to what we're going to draw around to give us better accuracy when we're drawing. So size 19 with a hard brush and draw along the edges. Now remember that you're using thick and thin lines here, and if you're not sure on how to do that, thick lines you need to think on a spider. If a spider crawls around a corner and you won't be able to see him because it's the back of the product, then that line's going to be thick. If he crawls over a surface like this, so you can see he crawls across that corner, if you can see him on both sides, that line will be thin. So if he crawls across this line, will you see him? No. If he crawls across this line down here, will you see him? No. And the same for the bottom as well. Now, next thing we're going to do is some thin lines, so we're going to change a brush this time to a smaller brush, just keeping it a quite hard brush as well. Okay, so size 9 we're using this time, and down on the front here as well. Now these are all surfaces that if the spider crawled across you would be able to see him. Now then, your lines will be a bit more accurate than mine, given I'm doing this here with a pen on the computer. Now, next thing we're going to do is turn off the other lines. Now you'll notice that all of the horizontal and vertical lines that we've done at the start have all disappeared. Just turn those off so you can get a more realistic representation of what we're doing. And I'm going to use the magic wand tool now for some rendering. Now I'm going to use the brush again, but this time I'm going to use quite a large and a soft brush as well. So I think I'm going to use, what's that, 66 I think it is. I can't really see it here on my screen, but anyway. And we're going to use like a soft orangey type colour to start with. The main thing you have to be aware of here is that you show an awareness to light. You don't just render in a full side like this one, which I've just done. Let's see what we do with the other sides to show some awareness to light. Okay, so again, rendering using the same color. And this time to show some awareness to light, I've left quite a large white area in the top right hand corner. We'll do the same thing for the top of our product as well. I'm using the magic wand tool here so I don't go out over the thick and thin lines which I've just drawn. You won't really have this issue if you're doing it with pen and paper or pencil and paper. Now then, we've got our first colour down, and now I'm going to use a darker colour to try and emphasise the edges of our product. So I'll run that around the edges there. And the same thing down on all other three sides. Or two sides rather, sorry. Again, keeping that top corner clear from any colour, okay? When the sun or any light source is shining upon that surface will be white, will be like a shine coming off the top surface, if that makes sense. You can see that the colours are getting darker as they go towards the edges. And later as it comes towards that corner, that's why we started with a light corner and started adding some darker colours on the top of it. Again, another darker colour. Rendering down along these edges here just to emphasise the corners and emphasise that light source in the top corner of our product. Add one more colour here, which is going to be quite dark, and that's just to show a little bit of shadow on the very edges of our product at the top, or close to the thick lines. Using the same principles as what we've done already. This off here now, and you can try this out now yourself using some pencil and some A3 paper. Try out some different 2-point perspective images, and don't be afraid of doing something more complicated. I'm just going to turn on these viewpoint lines now so that you can see how we've got to the final product. Okay, well done. Now let's see you have a go.